Every car enthusiast has a mental list of what could have been. The machines that made your jaw drop at a motor show, only for the manufacturer to quietly bury them in storage. For Dodge, in the early 1980s, that car was the turbocharger concept. It had gold-wing doors. It had a racing-inspired cockpit. It had the stance of an European wedge-shaped exotic. And yet, Dodge decided not to build it, leaving us with one of the great missed opportunities in American performance history. So, by the late 1970s, Dodge wasn't exactly leading the charge in excitement. Muscle car glory had been neutered by emission regulations, oil crises, and corporate caution. The brand needed something bold to prove it could still make cars worth talking about, and that's where special vehicles enters the story. Dodge's in-house skunkworks, their mission to create a car that would showcase the company's emerging turbocharging technology, drum up excitement for the brand, and ideally convince Chrysler's accountants that Dodge could once again be a performance leader. What they built was less modest engineering prototype and more poster material for the wall of every mechanically inclined teenager in 1981. It was first shown in 1980 and then displayed at the 1981 Chicago and Detroit auto shows. The Dodge turbocharger looked like nothing else in Dodge's lineup at the time. The nose was a low, sloping wedge with flush-fitting headlight covers and a deep lower air dam. The sides were clean and taut, ending in a squared-off tail with an integrated rear wing and a proper racing-style diffuser. If you squinted, you might see a hint of Renault Alpine A310 in the proportions, and you wouldn't be wrong. But the turbocharger had a more aggressive stance, setting on a widened track with custom 3-piece SVI wheels and track-ready rubber. And then there were the gull-wing doors, which was completely unnecessary for anything except dramatic entrances, but utterly perfect for a concept that was supposed to scream "the future is here." And unlike some show cars that were little more than fiberglass fashion statements, the turbocharger's aero wasn't purely for decoration. The NACA ducts were cut into the body to feed air where it was needed. The rear wing was functional, providing genuine downforce, while the diffuser smoothed airflow under the car to reduce drag. For the early 1980s, this was advanced stuff, the kind of things you'd saw in European endurance races, not American road cars. On the inside, the interior looked more like something out of a Group 5 race car than a Dodge showroom. The two Recaro bucket seats with RJS harnesses sat inside a cabin framed by a roll cage. The dashboard was dominated by no fewer than 11 separate cages, stretching almost from the one door to the other, giving the driver information overload in the best possible way. This car wasn't pretending to be luxurious, it was pure, functional, and clearly intended to make the driver feel like they were piloting something special. Underneath it all sat a powertrain that was both realistic and forward-looking. Dodge fitted the turbocharger with its new 2.2-litre turbocharged inline-4, paired with a 5-speed manual gearbox. The output was 142 horsepower and 160 pound-feet of torque, or 220 Nm of torque. Hardly earth-shattering even then, but remember, this was still the dawn of factory turbocharging in the US. The engine was part of Chrysler's broader strategy to downsize displacement while maintaining performance, and in the production world it would go on to power cars like the Dodge Daytona Turbo and the Shelby Charger. The turbocharger concept also received a heavily modified suspension, which included a wider track, up-rated shocks and sway bars, and upgraded brakes to match its performance ambitions. And unlike many static show cars, this one could actually move. And it did, most notably when it served as the PPG IndyCar World Series pace car in 1981 and 1982. But that brings me to the question, what happened to it, and why didn't we ever get it? Well, the reasons are depressingly predictable. For all its excitement, the turbocharger would have needed massive re-engineering to become road legal. Those gull-wing doors are expensive, heavy and difficult to seal. The custom suspension geometry is costly to reproduce at scale, and the interior is far too race-oriented for everyday buyers. And perhaps the biggest reason, while Dodge's budget in the early 1980s was tight, Chrysler was still clawing its way back from near bankruptcy, and the accountants weren't about to greenlight an exotic coupe when K-cars and minivans were what kept the lights on. Instead, Dodge cherry-picked elements of the concept for production models, particularly the turbo engine, and left the rest as a one-off. But that's not the end of the story. After its show and pace car duties ended, the turbocharger concept eventually found its way into the Claremont Collection's Automotive Museum in Chicago. There it sat as one of the odder footnotes in Dodge's history, a fully functional glimpse at what might have been. But now, with the museum permanently closing, the car is heading to an auction at Meckham's Larry's Legacy 2025 sale. It's being offered with no reserve, alongside nearly 300 other vehicles and more than 1,000 pieces of automobilia. Now originally, it was painted silver and red, but it now wears a silver and blue scheme, still riding on its distinctive 3-piece wheels and still sporting the roof-mounted beacon lights from its pace car days. But in the end, the Dodge turbocharger wasn't a missed opportunity because it failed to impress. It's a missed opportunity because it proved Dodge could have built something world-class and chose not to. In 1981, a mid-engine, gull-wing-doored, turbocharged American sports coupe could have given the Corvette real competition and carved out a unique niche in the market. Instead, it became a one-off reminder that bold ideas often get strangled by budget sheets. And now, over 40 years later, someone is about to buy that idea and take it home. Whoever gets the car won't just own a car, they'll own one of Dodge's greatest what-ifs. But yeah, at the end of this video, please let me know what you guys think of the video. What did you guys think of the car and its story? And if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Now if you guys did like this video, you'll most probably enjoy most of my other stuff, so just go through my channel, see if there's someone else I like. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers, eh?